Okay, this is a little video on what it's like being an Uber driver. That pin that you see in the middle of the screen, that's where I'm at right now, just waiting for another call. I had quite a few calls this morning, did 4 different rides, and I ended up in Bradenton, way up north. So I'm just going to take a little cruise, and I'm going to go on out across the bridge and to Bradenton Beach. Then I'll just cruise on down Longboat Key. And so I'll just take you along for the ride until I get a call, and I'll show you the other app that I use for the Uber driver app, and that's the driver app. And when somebody, that's me, that little blue dot, that's where I'm at right now. Up in there's the Sunshine Skyway Bridge there at 275. So I'll just mosey on out through there and give you a few stories about what's been happening here. Hopefully you can hear me here. I just dropped off 2 ladies here at Sweet Berries, an ice cream stand. Took them about 8 miles or so. So I just purchased a Ford Edge, a 2013 Ford Edge, and it's a real nice vehicle to run Uber with. It has a built-in navigation screen, and also it has a hands-free telephone that you use the Bluetooth on your phone, and so you can talk on the telephone while you're driving. So in a lot of states it's illegal to drive with a telephone in your hand. You can't text or talk on the cell phone while you're driving. So I'm going out on Manatee Avenue West towards Bradenton Beach, and I started out this morning at 6 o'clock. I went to Der Dutchman for breakfast, and I'll play a little clip now of the people, the men, Amish guys, Mennonite guys waiting in line at 6 o'clock to get into Der Dutchman to have breakfast. Line up for Der Dutchman for breakfast at 6:02 in the morning. Just can't wait to get in there. Breakfast with some friends of mine that I knew from 40 years ago. So that's where I hang out in the morning. So after I was done eating breakfast about 6:30, I turned on the Uber app. There's two different apps. There's a driver app and a rider app, and I use both of them. Earlier I was showing you the rider app that shows where all the cars are, and so you try to park somewhere where oh boy, here I get a call, so I've got to go try to find this place here. Let's see here. I think I got to turn around, do a U-turn here. Yep, I got to do a U-turn. So I'll continue this at a later time. Catch you later. Okay, we're going to continue now after a few days. Had some real busy days. Just went to the Haiti sale yesterday. And so we're back up here in Bradenton, going west on the Manatee Avenue, going towards Anna Maria Island. I had 4 trips this morning. Started out down there in Fruitville and dropped a guy off at Starbucks, and then brought his girlfriend way up here to Manatee County. So that was a real nice ride up through here. So I'll just give you a few details of my Uber experience. I've been running about 9 weeks now, and done about 600 different rides, different people, and it's quite interesting. Had some really interesting rides last night. Picked up some people on Ringling and took them downtown, and they were giving this girl a hard time, and just had a lot of fun. So I've had doctors and lawyers and engineers and drunks, so I've had the whole gamut. I've had quite a few runs to St. Pete and Tampa Airport. The biggest problem with that is trying to get back home. Usually you can pick somebody up at the airport again, but you never know where they're going to go. That's the one problem with Uber. You don't know until you pick somebody up where they want to go. So anyway, I ended up here in beautiful Manatee County. We're approaching the bridge up here, going out onto Anna Maria Island. Thought this might be an interesting little drive to do a video. We've got the sun on our back here, so we should be able to get a pretty good video. So if I get a call, I'll have to shut it back off again. I tried this a couple days ago and got interrupted, so I don't know how long we'll be able to go here. It was surging up here in Manatee County a few minutes ago, so there might be some demand out here. A couple weeks ago I had dropped somebody off up here very close to where I just dropped this girl off, and then I got a call to go up to Anna Maria Island, all the way to the north end. Picked up a couple, and they wanted to go to the Tampa Airport. And my car qualifies for Uber Select. There's 3 different categories in Sarasota. You got Uber X, which is 95 cents a mile and 13 cents a minute. Then you have Uber XL, which is a minivan that hauls 6 passengers. I can only haul 4. Then my car also qualifies for Uber Select, which is a luxury car. I have a Ford Edge, and it has leather seats and more leg room, a better ride, and so that's $2.05 a mile. So every once in a while I get an Uber Select. Well, this ride happened to be an Uber Select, And also there was a surge at the time, which means the rate goes up per mile. So I made $156 to take them up to Tampa. And I was already up in way north in Manatee County. So it only took about 35 minutes to take them up there. So that was a pretty good deal. Another way you can make money with Uber is with tips. I bought some headrests from Uberman on YouTube. A big shout out to Uberman. He's got 30,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. So if you want to get some more information on how to run an Uber business, check out Uberman's channel. There's another guy called Rideshare that does some really good videos on YouTube. So I'd recommend both of those to subscribe to them if you want to get more information. Also in the description I have the link for my Uber code. If you use that code when you sign up as an Uber driver, you can get a $50 bonus once you do I think 10 rides, and you can get a bonus, so be sure to check that out. So now we're approaching another bridge here. See, we've got some strawberries for sale here, and some oranges, some tomatoes. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. It is 71 degrees. People here on the side of the bridge fishing. Got a nice boat coming up here, going under the bridge here. And this is why people come to Florida. Up north right now, we're having an ice storm in Illinois, and here we've got going to be 80 degrees today, and just some beautiful weather. So once I get across the bridge here, we're going to be on the barrier island called the Bradenton Beach, or Anna Maria Island, and then we'll head south and go all the way through Longboat Key, which is a very beautiful drive. Lots of nice condominiums and homes, multi-million-dollar homes, and I like driving in these areas, especially in the evenings, because you tend to get better tips from the tourists and from the people that live on the Keys. They've got money and they don't mind giving a nice tip. In the mornings, a lot of times I'm just hauling workers, and very few give you tips. I did have an interesting one this morning. I picked up a gal in the Meadows and took her downtown and to the 12th Judicial Court. And I was surprised that they were open on a weekend like this. But she got a DUI, and so she has to check in once a month on probation. She lost her driver's license for a year. She claims it's going to cost her $20,000 by the time she gets everything, all her fines paid and the court costs. And so now we're at the corner of Anna Maria Island and Gulf Drive. Straight ahead is the Manatee Beach. They have different little public beaches along here. And so anyway, this lady was telling me that she hasn't drank since, but she made one mistake and had to pay for it dearly. And so anyway, we've got Elvis here in front of us on the pickup truck, so he must be an Elvis fan. But she gave me a $6 tip. She works at Outback as a waitress, and so they realize the importance of tips. It's a little bit tougher to make money with Uber right now because they've raised, when I first started about 9 weeks ago, the gas was around $2 a gallon, and now it's about $2.40. So it makes a difference. My tank holds 18 gallons of gasoline, but I try not to let it go under a quarter tank, because in case you have a run to go to Tampa to the airport, you don't want to have to stop and get gas when you have a customer. So I only put in about 11-12 gallons, and it costs about $30. And before it was only costing $25, so it's cost me about $5 extra each time I fill up. So it does make a difference. So now we're heading south, and just going to meander down through here, and if we don't get a call, we'll just keep on going until we get down to St. Armand Circle, and we'll head out over the Ringling Bridge. So you might wonder, well, what's it like, how much can you make with Uber? Well, just like anything else, you have to work it, and you got to work it hard. It's not too hard to make $100 in a day. I think the most I've made is $300 in one day. But generally I make around average about $300 to $400 a week, and but that's not full time, because I'm also on dialysis 3 times a week, which takes 3.5 hours, and I do drive some after dialysis. I usually go get something to eat, and then I'll drive 2 or 3 hours, and usually by 8:30 or 9 o'clock I'm pretty much wiped out, so I quit. But I've been getting up early in the morning, and I found that a lot of guys don't drive early, and so seems to be pretty good traffic in the early morning hours, especially during the week, taking people to work. And then usually in the middle of the day it seems to be slower, at least for me, and so usually I'll take off several hours during the middle of the day, and then work evenings. Friday evening and Saturday evening is the best nights to work. It's last night was just really busy. I didn't have more than 5 minutes in between a ride, and a lot of times I would get another call before I even dropped the passenger off. Once you get close to your destination, if it's busy, Uber will call you to go to the next ride, and I like that. I just keep going. That's how you make your money. Just because when you're not driving, you're not making any money, and that's just that simple. And I like to try to not drive too much after you drop somebody off, but sometimes you have to. You check the rider app. There's 2 different apps, and you can see where the other cars are, and if there's a whole bunch of them right where you're at, then generally you're not going to get another call. So you try to move to where you have a better chance of catching a ride. So a little bit about my YouTube channel. I've got started probably about 5 years ago, and I built a wind turbine, a vertical axis wind turbine, and I decided to take a video of it, and so I posted on YouTube, and that was my first video. Then later I built some solar panels. I've got 4 solar panels on my roof in Arthur, Illinois, and The biggest concern was for ice storms, but fortunately now I'm not there when they have an ice storm. So I wanted to be able to run my heat, because I have gas heat, but you need electric to run the fan, and so I would have heat even though there's no electricity. But fortunately I'm in Florida, so I don't have to put up with that. But so that's how I sort of got started, and then I just started. We live in an Amish area, and they still farm with horses, so I've done a lot of horse farming videos, and those are very popular. And then I grew up on a farm. I love John Deere machinery, so I've done a lot of John Deere modern farming, plowing, and antique tractors. Then my cousin has a company that does tiling and construction equipment. So I've done a lot of videos of demolition and backhoes and bulldozers and all the fun stuff, playing in the dirt. So I've done a lot of those types of videos. And then also I love bluegrass music, so I started filming Gunnysack Review, which is a local band that plays every Wednesday night. They just 2 years ago finished a beautiful building called Penn Station. So I do a lot of music videos, and then different chorus groups that come to different churches. I love a cappella music also, so I do a lot of different choruses. And then when I'm in Sarasota, there's an area called Pinecraft, and this is a area off of Bay Vista, and right in the middle of Sarasota, Florida, where the Amish come for their winter vacations. They come from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, just all over. They actually have a bus service, 3 different ones. They have Pioneer Trails, comes out of Ohio, and then they have the Elite Bus from Pennsylvania, and then the Crossroads Bus from Indiana, and now in the last couple of years we have a Davis County bus which services southern Indiana and also Illinois. And so we have a lot of good transportation for the Amish to come to Sarasota. So in the middle of the day, usually I take the golf cart and hang out at the Pinecraft Park, where they play shuffleboard and bocce ball, checkers, cornhole, and I do videos of some of the activities that happen in Pinecraft throughout the year. They've got on Saturday evenings at 3 o'clock sometimes they have a little mini parade. They had one last night, and just had a great little time there with that, and so I'll have a video of that shortly. Also, each Christmas at 3 o'clock they have a parade. It started 18 years ago with only 2 or 4 units. John Yoder had a John Deere tractor and a couple dogs that he put on front of it, and the Miller boys had a couple units, and so anyway, I do a video of that each year. A lot of the people up north like to be able to see what's going on in Sarasota while they're stuck up there shoveling snow. I can show what's all going on. I'm stuck behind a trolley bus, so it's taking a little long to. They have a trolley service that gives for their. It's like a bus here that dropping people off here at the beach. Got a lot of cars along the beach here right now. Just to the right is the ocean. Pretty soon we should be able to see that once we get over the bridge. Yeah, I don't know if I can get around this trolley or not. He's going to stop at every little bus stop here. And people are using it, they're getting off. I might change my angle here a little bit. You see the water out there. The water is just a beautiful blue. It's not hardly a wave on it this morning. There's some guys getting ready to go fishing. So a little bit more about my health here. I've been going to Peoria, Illinois to St. Francis Medical Center to try to get a kidney transplant. I had a liver transplant in 2001 and the medication from that messed up my kidneys. So I'm trying to get me a kidney transplant. And in Florida here, I was told at the dialysis center that to try to go to Largo Medical Center. So I've been up there 3 times now and try to get me a kidney transplant there. So that may happen this winter, it may not, you never know. But that would give me a lot more time to do videos if I had wouldn't have to do dialysis 3 times a week for 3.5 hours each time. Okay, this is Coquino Beach, and we're at the north end of Longboat Key. We're just getting ready to go across another bridge here, and we'll be out onto Longboat Key. There's a good shot of the Gulf of Mexico. I had a boat for about 30 years and then I sold it and my dad bought a boat, a nice Wellcraft boat. So went with him for about 20 years. But my dad is 90 years old and we finally talked him into selling his boat about a year ago, 2 years ago I guess. So we don't go fishing anymore, but I've done lots and lots of fishing and caught a lot of fish. Used to go out and catch silverfish and just had a great time. I'll turn this camera back straight ahead here. So this might be sort of a long video. Don't look like I'm going to get a call here. We do have a surge coming up. I'm going to drive right into it here shortly, so I might luck out here. So if you hear a ding here after a while, I'm going to have to shut you off. We got a semi here trying to back in here in front of us. These places are not very friendly to semis. It's really hard to get around. I used to drive semi in Chicago and it wasn't a lot of fun. I'll shut this off and then we'll start again. Okay, we got the semi out of the road here. It's sort of clouding up a little bit now. Hopefully this video will turn out halfway decent. But there's some really beautiful landscaping down through here. Palm trees and everything's nice and green. The northern end of Longboat Key is not there's not as much activity. There's a lot of houses, but it's not as densely populated. the southern end. There's a little section in the middle of Longboat Key. It's got a Publix and some stores, some golf courses. But along here, it's mostly single-family homes. But on further south, then they've got large condominiums, and the mega wealthy live down in that area. Longboat Key Club at the very bottom of Longboat Key. I pick up a lot of people there. It's interesting. You have to go in through a gate to get into the main drive, and then once you get to the condominium, you got to go through another gate. So they've got a lot of security, and sort of ridiculous, really. But anyway, I guess people want to feel safe. So right in the surge area now. I still haven't figured out surge. It seems like sometimes you drive right into a surge and you still don't get a call. I don't quite understand that. But on New Year's Eve I was driving, and they had a big party downtown. They dropped a pineapple at midnight. They had music going and fireworks, and thousands of people there. And so I was waiting there, and 10 after midnight I got a call. I was sitting on First Street, and my first call was to go to Nokomis. So that took me way out of the area. That was about 15 miles south. And I should have just shut it off and come right back, but I didn't, and I drove down there for a while. Finally I shut it off and come back, and got 4 more surge runs that night, but they weren't real big ones, about 2 times the rate. They were just short runs. But then at 3 o'clock, it was 5 times the rate. So it'd been $5 a mile. So if you could have got a long haul on that, you could have done really well. But I was so tired, I quit at 2 o'clock. And I finally just give up on it. So okay, I'm going to shut it off here, and I'm going to stop here and see if I can catch a ride here. Y'all have a great time. We'll catch you later.